Like all of these houses are made from the local stone. It's all earth homes. And so the houses are really spectacular. So we have 4 hectares of plants, and in companion with the olive tree, we grow 60 different species of herbs. So this garden, it's a farm. It's a garden. We grow everything in polyculture, so no monocultures. We grow it as if it is, a loved garden and not like we traditionally know productive space. So we start blending, because this goes all the way to the house. We start blending idea of private space with productive space and wilderness, so that they become more one spaces, so that we don't have this like separate rules for this, separate rules for production, separate rules for wilderness, so that we can move through it and that we maintain the same philosophy throughout. People so easily spray poisons right up to their houses because they want the roses or they want this, they want this so that they, and that's the, like that real cottage garden idea. And we're just like, no, we just bring the wilderness through. The wilderness becomes really productive, and then the wilderness becomes very private and very well kept and well tended around the houses. I'm a landscape architect. So I did my master's in landscape architecture in VCT, and 15 years in California, and I just wanted to come back home. And so you just fall in love again with South Africa and the South African soil and the South African water, and it really is just different. But being back home and being in this soil, there's just nothing that compares. This yarrow that's standing here, and it's always about like what you have personal experience. Kilium mellifolium. We don't just grow indigenous. We also grow lavender, rosemary, but we try and have at least the majority of our plants. It's a plant that is well revered all over the Americas. It's used in traditional Chinese medicine. It's used in Ayurvedic medicine, so very popular in India. It's used in African medicine. There's not a medicinal system in the world that doesn't use yarrow, because it has superpowers. And that's when I talk about, like, you really get to know herb when you have a personal experience with it, And yarrow, it's Achilleum mellifolium. Its botanical name. So it's named after the Greek god Achilles, because he fought in the Trojan War. And they said that the reason why the Trojan War actually went on as long as it did, because he healed all of his soldiers with yarrow. It was so well used because it stops blood in its place. And in any case, you always read about these things. But one day I was washing the dishes, and there was a piece of glass cut. And I just cleaned it, and I cut my finger. You can see the scar there. I cut my finger, but it was probably a centimeter deep and in. It's a thick piece of glass. And the blood was just like, I think the whole sink was full of blood. And I went out to the garden, and I just quickly picked some yarrow, and I put it over the wound. And I was just walking around like this for a few hours. And I took it off, and for days later, it was completely healed. And it was just like small scar, and that's it. No stitches, no anything. So that's when you get to know yarrow deeper, when you actually, but it's regulating all of the waters in your body. So it really is a blood medicine, bone marrow. So my other favorites is the mphepos. We have 2 species, the helichrysum. We make essential oils from these, and it's revered all over the world as a skin healer. Like it's a miracle skin medicine, the essential oil from it. So people put it in skin serums. On the European market, it's probably one of the most expensive essential oils that you can find. And so we press this after we steam distill the essential oils from the flowers, and it's incredible. It's unbelievable. So, for wound healing, sorting out infections in your skin, really, really dry patches, anti-aging. Yeah. So it's on this. It's here all the way to those tall cypress trees, and then it's underneath the cellar. So all along the river, all the way back. And then across the street, you can also see, like, so this goes all the way to Stain Street, to Bain Street, and then all the way to Lane Street. So, I'm not the landowner. The landowners live in that house there. There's actually 3 different landowners. It was a farm, like all small villages at some point. Then it was divided into big plots. And then these landowners came and bought 12 big plots and turned it back into a farm.
Wow. Amazing.
And it's wonderful because it's in the heart of the town. And so the heart of Barrydale is now this like thriving medicinal garden.
Wow.
Instead of apartment blocks. So you see, every farm has like the underbelly of the farm where it's garbage. So we gathered all the garbage and we made this garden, and we call it the recycled garden. Yeah. And it's just such a lovely, lovely, lovely space for people to hang out in. And yesterday we transformed this into a kids' play area. So all of these extra piping is actually, it's actually for the kids' stuff. And yeah.
Thank you. It's been really amazing to meet you.
Yeah.